Hey everybody, welcome back to The Loop. All week this week, we're talking about winning the war in your mind. This is actually the title of a new book by Pastor Groeschel. I found it to be very helpful as I've been reading it this past week, and so I wanted to talk about some of that content with you. As you think about winning the war in your mind, I want to take you to Romans chapter 12, verse 2, where Paul wrote this: "Do not conform to the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, His good, pleasing, and perfect will." There's a struggle that we're all in the middle of. We live in the world, which makes it easy for us to start thinking like the world and then eventually conform to the world. You live in this world long enough without renewing your mind with God's word, and you'll eventually come around to the world's way of thinking. You'll think about money the way the world thinks about money, not the way Jesus thinks about money. You'll think about the weekend the way the world thinks about the weekend, rather than the way God talks about the weekend. You'll think about things like sex the way the world thinks about sex. And it won't just change your thinking, it really could change your life. Remember the opening line of Craig Groeschel's book. He said, "Our lives are always moving in the direction of our strongest thoughts." It's so true. Or to use Paul's words out of this passage, he says, "You will conform to the patterns of this world if you don't renew your mind." But that's why we're talking about winning the war in your mind. We want to change the way we think so that we can change the way we live. See, over time, our minds get corrupted by all of the messaging in our world. You hear friends, teachers, coaches, advertising agencies, songs, movies, articles, podcasts, all of which tell you how to think and ultimately how to live. So what's that one area in your life where you are conforming to the world rather than renewing your mind so that you can live more like God? When you identify that area where you are conforming, start renewing your mind. Renew your mind by memorizing what God's Word has to say. Renew your mind by reading God's Word on that particular subject. Renew your mind by listening to faithful men and women who teach God's Word on that particular struggle. It's another effective strategy for winning the war in your mind.